Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a minute since I have uploaded a video for you guys, but here I am. So today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about my competition prep, where I'm at, how many weeks out, what show am I still competing, what is going on. So yeah, I'm going to fill you guys in, and I decided to upload this on YouTube before I actually announce it to my IG fam, so you guys are hearing it first. So yeah, so if you're interested in all of that, then keep watching. All right, so let's get into it. So today is September 4th, and I will not be competing this year. So I am officially in my second improvement season, and I'm gonna kind of go over why me and my coach decided to go that route. So if you guys watched my last video, you guys already know that I was obviously struggling with my body responding to prep. I was stuck for a very long time at 111, so the weight wasn't really coming off. I was struggling with that. I mean, I was doing everything that I was supposed to, just my body wasn't responding quick enough, and I could definitely see it. This entire prep, I just wasn't, it was just different. I didn't feel it. Not that I wasn't doing the work and all of that, it's just my body wasn't responding, and I could tell. I know my body, and I feel like us as individuals, the more that you do this, the more that you kind of recognize what is working for you, when it's working for you, when it's not. So this entire prep, you know, I obviously noticed that. I was noticing that my body wasn't responding as well as it had in the past. And so whenever I would talk to people, I would always say like, okay, I have this show in mind, but I'm not sure if it's gonna happen because my body just isn't responding. And so I would always hear like, no, don't worry, you will compete, you will step on stage on that day. But I feel like I already knew that it wasn't gonna happen. Like I said, I know my body. And so this entire time, you know, I kept pushing and I kept prepping, even though I felt like it wasn't gonna happen, but I didn't give up. And you know, the competition day was getting closer, so whenever I was checking in with my coach, I was honestly trying not to stress about it, but there was times where I would stress about it. So I reached out to my coach whenever I was doing my check-in, and I was like, hey coach, like I don't really think my body is where it should be this many weeks out. So do you think that I'm gonna be able to step on stage? If not, then like what is our game plan? What is our plan B? And I love that I'm able to have these conversations with my coach. I love that he is able to talk to me and give me his advice, and then we kind of talk about it together and decide what we are going to do. So whenever I reached out to him, he's like, okay, you're right. So we made some changes, and he said, all right, let's see where we can get you next week with these numbers and these adjustments. And if we get to this point, then we can continue. But if we don't see you being at this certain number, then we need to pull out and we need to come up with a plan B. So, you know, I went ahead and I did the work. I felt like this entire prep, I was grinding, and I was just putting in the work, and my body just was not responding. It just didn't want to give. So yeah, so I went ahead and I did, you know, what he asked me to do. And whenever I checked in, following those adjustments, I checked in, my weight did come down. The lowest that I got was 106, which is awesome, but definitely not where I need to be competitive and step on stage. I am very petite, I am very small, so typically whenever I have stepped on stage in the past, it's always been like 95 pounds. I mean, obviously I'm hoping to be able to put on some good muscle, and maybe the next time that I step on stage, hopefully it'll be like 100 rather than 95. But regardless, I wasn't where I needed to be that many weeks out. So he said, okay, so this is what is gonna happen. So before I checked in with him that last time, before we came up with our plan B, I already knew that it wasn't going to happen. I already knew that I wasn't going to be within that time frame. I knew that my body wasn't going to be where it needed to be. I had just already knew in my mind, because I know my body and I know what it should look like this many weeks out. So I was already stressing out because I'm not gonna lie, I was a little upset, thinking like, what if I can't do this show? I really wanted to do this show, or just thinking like, what if I can't even compete this year? That's not something that I wanted to happen. So I was already thinking, okay, so before even checking in with my coach, I was like, all right, so what if I do this show that's coming up? Maybe I could be ready then. But then obviously with my job, it's kind of hard for me to take specific days off, and it is my job. It is how I make a living. It is how I make my income. And so for the second show that I had in mind, I was stressing because the day that I would have to request off, it was like a commitment that I kind of had to be there for my job. So I was kind of stressing like, okay, I'm not really gonna be able to ask for this day off, but maybe I can fly out the night of, get there late. And then I was like, whoa, if I do that, I'm gonna be super stressed out because I'm gonna be rushing, and you don't want to step on stage whenever you're super stressed out and rushing. Like, that is a no, big no. So I was just like, okay, well then if I do decide to step on stage on that day, then I'm just gonna have to figure it out with my job. And that was kind of stressing me out, I'm not gonna lie. And so it was just like a lot going on in my mind before even checking in with my coach. So then whenever I checked in with my coach, obviously I was 106. I wasn't where I needed to be to step on stage for the show that I had in mind. So whenever he got back to me, to my surprise, like, everything worked out because of what he gave me, his thoughts on what I should do. Because like, the relationship that we have is like, he tells me what he thinks, and then I share my thoughts, and then we kind of come up with a game plan. So I really love that about, you know, the relationship that I have with my coach. So yeah, so he's like, okay, so this is what I think that we should do. The second show that we had in mind was a show in December, and it didn't really make sense for me, and it just didn't make sense. So for me, it didn't make sense, and then whenever he brought it up, it didn't really make sense for him either. So he's like, if you really want to compete, you can do the show in December, but in my opinion, I think that we should just go ahead and stop, go ahead and go into an improvement season and be ready to compete early next year. And that felt like such a huge relief for me, because that's kind of what I was already thinking. Although I didn't want to do that, I didn't want to not compete this year. I think that everything happens for a reason, and so yeah, so I will not be competing this year, but I'm excited because we have a game plan for next year. It just didn't work out for me this year. It didn't work out for me, and I was upset about it at first, but honestly, I think that everything happens for a reason, and I know that everything, you know, it happened for a reason, and I know that whenever I do step on stage next year, it's going to be even better. So yeah, so, you know, I was happy that he agreed. I was happy that he's the one that brought up like going into an improvement season already, because that's kind of where my head was at as well. So yeah, so we are officially in improvement season. I believe we're 2 weeks in, and I'm super excited. I am excited about training. Not that I wasn't excited before, but I'm just really excited because I am no longer stressed, and I feel like everything works out the way it needs to work out. So with that being said, I reached out to him and I was like, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and go into our improvement season. So what is the game plan? I wanna know what shows you think that I should compete in next year. When should I start my prep and all of that? Just because I want to make sure that I am on point. I wanna make sure that I'm on point and that we start prep at a good time to give myself enough time to get to where I need to be. So yeah, we've already discussed and we already have a show in mind for next year. We actually have a few shows in mind, and it just works out because with my job, I get the summers off. So it's just easier for me to compete a lot more during the summer right now because I don't have to worry about taking time off. So yeah, you guys are hearing it first. I wanted to let my YouTube fam know what was up, what was happening. first. I wanted to let you guys know first, and then I will make an announcement on my IG later. A lot of people have been asking me, so you guys are hearing it first. So if you guys watch this video, thank you so much. I'm super excited about continuing to document my improvement season. This improvement season is gonna definitely be better than last season. I am leaner this time around. I feel great. There was no post breast augmentation surgery. Obviously, like I've already dealt with that. So I feel great. I feel like I'm in a really good starting point, and I will definitely be documenting all of this on my YouTube channel for you guys. So if you guys are watching this video, thank you. And like I said, I'm letting you guys know the deets before my IG fam. So if you're watching this video and you also follow me on Instagram, whenever I do make the posts about it here in a few days on my Instagram, I want you guys to either DM me a sunflower emoji or comment a sunflower emoji, just to let me know that you guys already knew what was happening. You guys are in the loop. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for everything. Yeah, your support. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.